Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. I have 3 beautiful boys, my 21-month-old twins Solomon and Gabriel, and my 6-year-old son Abraham.
And I'm Patrick, and I have 2 beautiful 11-month-old twins, Emily and Eve.
There's no question that being a parent is the best thing that's ever happened to me, but it's also the toughest job that I've ever had.
Yeah, that's for sure. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I had no idea just how challenging until I actually had my own children.
Yeah, that's why we've made this DVD, to give young people an insight into the day-to-day realities of being a parent. We hope the experiences shared here by other young parents will give you a better idea of what to expect and to help you to feel more prepared for parenting.
When I first found out I was going to have a baby, I felt very overwhelmed. I was sort of like, can I do this? What's it going to be like?
Well, when I first found out I was pregnant, the most thing I was scared about was telling my parents.
I felt a bit sort of judged by my family at first, being a young mum and stuff, and then also dropping out of college sort of didn't really lead up to their expectations, I suppose.
When I found out I was going to be a parent, it was a bit of a shock. I didn't really know what to do. My mum was there, which was good. She was there when I found out.
But society was the big one, like being out in public, pregnant and being young, you sort of got judged a lot.
It doesn't matter what age you're at, you're still going to go through the same struggles, you know, as if you were at any age, because nothing can prepare you for having a child except for having a child.
I don't think you can ever be prepared for what comes, to be completely honest. Like, you can imagine what it's going to be like, and then when it actually happens, you're just like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
As they say on the ads, they don't come with a manual.
Emotionally, just make sure that you are going to be 110% available to your child and know that they're going to be there 24/7, all day, all night.
Reality of being a parent is just that you're a role model for your kids, you know, and you're here to teach these little kids, because at the end of the day, little kids are like sponges. They soak up everything, so you've got to be careful what you do, what you say. And, well, really reality is wake up, you're a parent, so put your finger out, do your job.
You can't just give up and say, I'm not doing this anymore. It's a full-time job and it's forever.
There are lots of things to think about when preparing for parenting, like financial security, stable housing, and how you're going to get everything you need for baby.
Well, when you're becoming a first-time parent, I think that you should look into doing first aid. That should be, I reckon, one of the main issues. And then you start looking for a house for you. You've got to have a home to go to so that your baby can be settled.
It's good to live with your parents at first because you've got the support that you need, but it's still not the same having your own place and being able to do what you want, have your own routines and that sort of stuff.
It was important to get my own place because it just improved our relationship a lot, having our own space. And I think it's more stability for the children as well.
It took nearly 2 years for us to finally find a place, because not many people in private rentals accept young people, especially when you're a young parent. But the support that we had from our family and friends as well, with letting us stay where we did, it was very helpful. If we didn't have them, I don't think we'd be here right now.
We had our own place for 2 years before we even thought about having Dominic, and I do part-time building and she's a masseuse, so we'd planned for everything and saved up before we thought about having Dom.
Every week I'd buy something for the baby out of my pay, so by the time Arabella came I had everything.
There's nothing wrong with second-hand stuff, especially being young parents. Your money isn't, you don't have an awfully lot unless you're working.
But one of the first things you might need to think about is how to tell your parents. Don't put it off. If you're hiding the fact that you're having a baby, then you can't start planning properly for this next big step in your life. They might be more supportive than you think, and you're going to need their support. Stay connected with family and friends, and if you're in a relationship, find ways to keep it strong. Talk about how you're going to parent and how you're going to help each other.
Work through it together. If you have a problem, don't build it up. That's one thing that you should not do, is if you ever have a problem with your partner, just sit down and talk about it, so then it doesn't get, you know, bottled up. And yeah, that's probably where most people go wrong, is not communicating.
When it comes to looking after your unborn baby's health, you should of course eat healthy foods and stop drinking alcohol. And if you're a smoker, whether you're a mum or dad-to-be, you should find ways to quit or cut down during pregnancy. Both smoking and passive smoking can seriously affect your child before and after they're born.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was smoking cigarettes and I actually just stopped straight away. I'm really proud of myself for that and happy that I don't smoke.
Parenting is the single most important influence on a child's well-being and development. It's pretty obvious that a baby can't survive without someone to care for it. But what's less obvious is that a baby's healthy emotional and social development depends on the attachment and bonding with their caregiver, especially in the early years of life when crucial nerve pathways are being formed in the brain.
Attachment and bonding are all about how you interact and connect with your baby. Getting to know each other through talking, reading, singing, touching, mimicking, facial gestures and sounds, and comforting them when they're upset all help your baby feel secure. And babies who feel secure are calm and content, ready to play and learn.
Yeah, as soon as you see them on the ultrasound, you start to form a bond. Then when they're born, it was like an instant connection.
I think for the first half an hour, it doesn't feel real and you just, all the emotions going through you. It's one of the greatest feelings, seeing him for the first time and having that first bond.
Lots of cuddles helped bonding with my baby, and breastfeeding helped. Although I couldn't do that for very long, but it did help. And just playing with them and talking to them.
I always thought that I wouldn't know how to hold him or anything, but that just came kind of naturally, which I was surprised about, just because I'd never had much experience with babies before.
Bathing them for the first time and I don't know, holding them for the first time, yeah, I think that's just the main bonding, is when you got them in your arms and you just feel over the moon about having kids and you never regret it.
No matter what's going on in our own lives, we need to do our best by our kids. Of course, life isn't perfect and things don't always work out the way that we plan or expect. At times, parenting can be overwhelming and difficult for all of us, but some parents struggle to cope more than others and find it difficult to bond with their baby. You might have financial or relationship problems, or you might not be getting the support that you need.
Like, I think I struggle most with the emotional side of things. Sometimes I think, oh God, I wish I wasn't a parent anymore, you know, and it's such a horrible thing to say out loud. Anyone that's a parent would not judge you on that because they know where you're coming from, you know.
The most difficult issues for me to cope with would have to be probably just being a single parent. A lot of the time you need support from a partner and you're alone with the child 24/7, so you get a bit overwhelmed, a bit frustrated.
It's not something to feel ashamed about, you know, because you're going to go through so many emotions.
Feeling down, worried or anxious is common in pregnancy and after birth for both mothers and fathers. Talk to your partner, family, friends, GP, midwife, match nurse or social worker, or contact one of the organisations listed at the end of this DVD.
Parenting is a 24/7 job full of ups and downs. The most common problem parents experience are related to sleep, theirs and their babies. No two babies are the same, so what works for others might not work for you. And some babies just take longer than others to sleep through the night.
I do have a few issues with settling him and putting him to sleep. He still doesn't sleep through the night. He's 15 months old. He's still waking 1 to 2 times a night. So that's quite hard because I get very sleep deprived sometimes.
It's important to look after yourself so you're prepared for challenges like sleep deprivation. That means taking time out for yourself to see friends, do the things you enjoy, or just rest and go for a walk. You can't do that without support, so being connected to family and friends who can help is important.
I don't think I'd be able to cope as well if I didn't have the family that I have.
I've got my family, my parents, sisters and my partner, also friends as well, and that really helps to have a variety of people to talk to.
The support's really good and it helps out, especially when, you know, you just need a little bit of a break every now and again just to spend some time with each other or go out and see some friends and have fun. And
we go out to dinner every now and again, like my mum will take the kids or Troy's mum and we'll go see a movie or go fishing together or something, you know.
And at the end of the day, if you don't have family, you got friends. You got a lot of friends that got kids that can help you, but the help is there. Yeah, it's just a matter of looking for it.
If you're in a relationship, it's important to keep the lines of communication open so you know how you're both feeling day to day. You need to support each other by giving each other time out, as well as spending time together with and without your children.
Well, it is really stressful in the beginning. You're both stressed and tired and you just have to talk about things, try to deal with it together and help each other.
Make sure you're sharing the responsibilities and all the cleaning and the looking after the kids. Try and make it as easy as you can on each other.
When you do have children, it does sort of put not a strain on your relationship, but you don't have time for yourselves anymore. It's just important to remember, you know, yourselves and focus on your relationship at times and not just your children.
Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. You're learning on the job, so you're not always going to know what to do. Take one day at a time, be patient, get into a good routine, and try to have fun.
Yeah, routine is a big thing for me. Yeah, they have their dinner at the same time, bath at the same time, bed at the same time.
Like, you got your kids in a routine, nothing go wrong. I think that's why I am so really laid back.
But once you have that routine, yeah, everything just goes smoothly. And
you got to have that structure in your family life. Don't matter how many kids you have, you can have one, but you still got to have that structure.
It's also important to think about contraception. Breastfeeding is not a reliable contraception. Talk to your GP or midwife for more information.
I was on the pill and taking it properly and everything and still fell pregnant while I was on the pill. That's how this little one came along.
Yeah, she got the Marina done. So that's 5 years with no more kids.
Well, it was a pretty easy decision to have something a little bit stronger in contraceptive.
Even though babies are tiny, they're still expensive. Try to start budgeting and saving now. Putting aside a little bit of money each week now will make it much easier after baby arrives. And if you're in a relationship, it's going to ease the financial pressure if one of you has a job.
At the end of the day, kids aren't cheap, and the more you have, the more expensive it gets. So you need a financial plan. You need to budget and just get the things you need.
Yeah, you need to sort of set yourself a budget, otherwise one week you're going to be short and being like, uh-oh, where am I going to get money from now?
We're making sure we budget enough to be able to have the money to be able to afford everything we need for him and still be able to pay all the bills.
Every time I get paid or anything like that, I always make sure that the girls have got their nappies, their wipes, everything that they need for that fortnight.
Stable housing is obviously a high priority. If you don't have your own place and living with family is not an option, you might want to approach ACT housing sooner rather than later, as this process can take a while.
Like if I was in the same situation again, that would be my first thing, straight into housing as soon as you find out you're pregnant, because that way you don't have to wait as long after you have the baby.
When it comes to the things you need for baby, don't rush out and buy everything straight away. You might be surprised what hand-me-downs come your way. Remember, the only thing you need to buy is a new cot mattress. Buying second-hand saves a fortune, and used baby items are often excellent quality because babies grow out of things so fast.
Well, I was working at the time, so I just started to save money. I bought a cot and a pram and car seat, like all the major, more expensive things I bought first.
Yeah, we took a lot of hand-me-downs from, say for instance, like my mum had like all my stuff still from when I was a child, like bath stuff and old school like feeding tables and change tables, and yeah, a lot of stuff was given to us, especially clothing wise as well. So it's been quite good.
And you're wasting money buying toys, pillows, doonas, bumpers and other accessories for the cot, as they are not recommended for safe sleeping under the SIDS guidelines. You can find out more about SIDS at sidsandkids.org.
Once baby arrives, you'll be buying things like nappies and wipes regularly. Stock up when things are on sale and don't fall into the trap of blindly buying big brands. Many parents, including me, swear by no-name products which are half the price.
Breastfeeding is another way to save money. I breastfed all my kids. In fact, I'm still breastfeeding my twins. Not only has it saved me a fortune in formula, but it's also given me a wonderful bonding time with my children.
And as baby gets older and starts eating solids, it can be handy to have store-bought jars of puree for emergencies. But it's cheaper, healthier, and really easy to mash a banana or steam and blend some veggies. There are heaps of ideas for homemade pureed veggies online, and you can make a big batch, freeze it in ice cube trays, and use it as you need it.
I would definitely recommend to breastfeed as long as you can, because formula is very expensive, you know, it's almost $25 a tin and you go through those tins very quick.
Well, I plan my weekly dinners out beforehand, so I just get the stuff I need for dinner. I always make their food, I don't buy the jar stuff, yeah. Always make it fresh and freeze it.
You buy a packet of potatoes and you cook up mashed potato and pumpkin and all that, and it's better for them and cheaper because you're eating it too.
For those of you who aren't expecting a baby, it's important to use contraception until you feel you've reached a stage in your life where you're ready to have children. That might mean finishing school or higher education, travelling overseas, being financially stable, or being emotionally ready to take on the challenges of parenting.
And for those of you who are expecting a baby, we hope this DVD has given you a useful insight into the day-to-day realities, both challenging and rewarding, of being a parent, and that it's helped you to feel more prepared for the amazing adventure you're about to embark on. Enjoy your baby, look after yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
I knew it was going to be exhausting and tiring and hard, but I never knew it was going to be this fun.
Yeah, I think anyone can be a great young mum if they put their mind to it.
Yeah, just one step at a time, baby steps.
I wouldn't want my life any other way. I love spending my Friday nights at home cuddled up on the lounge with my son.
It's more rewarding being able to have that little bit of you be able to sit there and look at you with the love they do.
I love being a mum and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
When they're happy, I reckon that's the best reward, is seeing a smile on your own flesh and blood, I guess, yeah.
I love watching 3 of my babies grow up. It makes my heart melt. I'm going to cry again. But yeah, it's one of the best things. Enjoy every moment that you can.